Okay, so I'm going to reflect on this week's learning. It's been quite a lot of learning, quite a lot of stuff to take in. We have looked at shifts. So essentially, we've been following Andy Lancaster's new Trends and Shifts, which is linked to the CIPD fact sheets. We've been looking at 10 of those. Business need, so that is not so much L&D led, but focusing on the business and the objectives and making sure that L&D aligns its own mission with that of what the business is trying to achieve. Looking at metrics as well and how success is measured, and how that operates in the new world. Underpinned by science is the third one, and we're looking at neuroscience pretty much. So this week I've had a look at 3 different models: ages, the reticular, amygdala, and dopamine, which is kind of looking at how physiology meets with psychology and how you can kind of like reprogram your brain, which is really interesting stuff. The team has some understanding of this already, but it's good to learn more. And I've actually downloaded some videos off of YouTube, and I'm working my way through those. So I've looked at a couple of evaluation models as well this week, which links to number 10 in those shifts, which is measuring value. So the Kirkpatrick model, I've watched a video on YouTube, which is my preferred method of learning, really, of Stephanie Ashford, who's a paramedic studying to be a doctor, and this is to do with emergency medical response sort of training, and it's very interesting to see sort of like an actual my opponent's offline, India. Okay, an actual application of the Kirkpatrick model. So yeah, tons of learning this week. Number 4, curator concierge, which is really fascinating, which is this idea that there's so much content out there, quality content out there, and organizations are so complex you can't be expected to design everything and to implement everything. So why not, have a look at what's already out there and see what fits, and what your team needs. So it's about collecting stuff and signposting, as opposed to sort of trying to do everything yourself. So that's fascinating. Also user choice, social experience of learning, just in time, i.e. not delayed, bite size as opposed to like a big meal, so breaking down learning and spacing it out. That links with some of the stuff that I've learned about neuroscience. So when you look at one of the acronyms, AGES, the S there is to do with spacing. So yeah, that's really interesting. In that, to effectively learn, you need to space things out. Okay, we're going to go here. We might want to pin this knight to this queen as well at some point. What else have we learned? We've looked at digital mobile and advances, imminent leering advances in technology, and back to measuring value. So the interesting, the nice thing is that I can apply pretty much all of these things, and I can explore all of these things over the next 2 weeks. My job over the next 2 weeks, which is going to be limited for CIPD and the apprenticeship, unfortunately, is leading a Train the Trainer event, so where we're teaching 10 trainers, national and international. We've got MOD officers from Cyprus on this one, and we're sort of teaching them to become physical instructors, teaching arrest and restraint stuff. He wants to try and trap, which isn't really going to work, so I'm just going to carry on with my plan. So yeah, the nice thing, very keen on extending the pawns. The nice thing is that we can look, firstly at the business need. That's pretty straightforward. We can also look at metrics, So, how are we going to measure, success and outcome on this course? Underpinned by science, that's certainly something which we have been instigating, and I'm going to do more of. Using neuroscience in some of the facilitations of delivery, which combines really with curated concierge, because there's some videos and things which I want the trainees to see. We're going to need to develop here, and we might even Castle Queenside. There's so much that can be implemented. I think we're just going to push upon. So user choice, well, we can provide laptops for them to produce their lesson plans on, or they can do it handwritten. We have handouts, physical handouts that we can give them, and they also have their mobile devices that fits into digital mobile, where we can assign work that way. So there's definitely things I can put into place next week and the week after. The social learning experience, treating them as a cohort of learners. The only thing which is difficult is just in time. Our organisation actually has a bit of a problem with this concept of just in time. Everything tends to be delayed and reactionary, which is not the best. So that's a definite weakness. And then measuring value, I've organised for our senior manager to come and do the course evaluation. It's going to be a proper job, and I've asked for the Kirkpatrick model to be considered. So really trying to implement some of these bits and pieces of learning. As for the role shifts, we're looking at performance detective, performance architect, performance master builder, game changer, and tracker. Our organisation could really do with a performance detective, whether that's combined with the tracker or whether they're separate roles. That's really quite important. I think we're in dire need of that, and taking more of an evidence-based approach and being intelligent, and analysing properly. So what I need to do is I need to consult the CIPD fact sheets, because I've not done that yet, so I need to get to grips with those. I need to watch some of the videos that I've downloaded on Charles Jennings, on the Phillips model, and I certainly need to embed the CIPD profession map, and really get to grips with that. And I also need to go and pick up the kids from school. So I probably better resign, let my opponent, who's sadly got a bit of a bad connection here, take this game, and I'll carry on. So lots learnt this week, lots more to learn, lots of ways that this can be applied to my job, and to the wider business. For me, that's difficult. I can microcosmically apply a lot of this stuff to my own team that I'm working within, and to a segmented part of the business. But to look overarchingly at the home office is quite daunting. It's quite challenging. So therein lies a problem. I think we can go here, and we're just threatening this here. And then give it one more minute and I will have to get going. I'm sure this would be favourable because our king is a little bit exposed here. Oh no, it's not a free bishop. I beg your pardon, it's not. Okay, that sounds quite clever, so we could get kicked around a little bit here. So lots learned this week, lots more to learn. Interesting stuff. I think if this game were to play out, I'd be interested in putting this bishop here. Crikey, he really is keen on trying to bully and harry us, which is very rude indeed. We're almost trapped because we're here and here. In which case we'd go here and have to trade queens. I think that's going to have to be it. My intention would be to put the bishop here, and then obviously we're threatening some sort of checkmate possibility over this way. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more chess. I better go pick up those kids. Here we go, as expected. get the rooks into the game as well, get the rooks onto the open file. Anyway, we better gracefully resign. Okay, here we are.